Somebody said about running this thing on the ground, but I'm not ready to destroy my motor yet. But what I'm ready to do is, I want to see how fast I could bring it up. Okay, that was fast, dude. That was fast. That worked. That worked. I did it in 1 second. Hey guys, we're about to test this Xi3 on the Bonafide Power 129 over there. I did a water demo of this unit already in real life situation, like what ocean, open water, and but today I want to test it right here in this place because it's a close body of water, and I want to compare my results that I get today here with previous results. For today, we're gonna be testing this KETCH mount. This is a performance mount that is gonna come up to the market pretty soon. And by the way, guys, I'm gonna list it down below as an affiliate link and also a coupon code that's gonna allow you to save money on KETCH products and other products that we have that we review here on the channel. This KETCH mount is called the performance mount because it's for someone who wants to get more out of their motors. And the only issue that you may have with it is that you do have to drill 2 holes here, but it's, again, it's not a big deal, only 2 holes, but that's the only issue. All right, so let me go ahead and put this Xi3 unit. I have it. The way I'm gonna attach it is I'm gonna use the KETCH quick release mount. It uses that tongue right there, and what you do is just bring it up there, make sure the cables are clear. And you have this mechanism here, you just pull it, and then you do the same on the other side right there, and this thing is not gonna open. It's locked, it's latched, it's not gonna open. The only way to open it is you press here. Okay, the next step is we need to give this thing power. I got my amazing Amped Outdoors lithium battery right here. It's supposed to be there already, but you know, let's make room for it. Let's go ahead and plug in my battery to this wire harness that I have there. Let's go in there. Let me get the cables. And on a future video, I'm gonna be wiring this entire boat with 8-gauge cables, because I'm not only gonna be using the bow mounted trolling motor, I'm also going to be using the rear Newport vessels trolling motors, and I want to be able to just plug in the motors to power and have multiple outlets. This battery right here is a 60 watt-hour battery. It's not super heavy, so I don't think it's going to influence the testing today. If you do have a heavy battery like 100 watt-hour or something like that, we got power. I will recommend that you take that battery out of here and you put it in the rear. There is a battery box area right here that you can put in your battery. But for today, I think we're totally fine. It's weightless. If you do have a dual motor setup, well, what you can do is put the heavy battery opposite end, right? Light battery over there, heavy battery here, heavy setup on the back. You cannot balance out. I mean, it depends how you're gonna use the boat, so you gotta test that out. I'm just gonna give you an idea how this works here like this. We already got power, we got the lights. I also did a quick deploy and stove setup right here. I'll drill this because I didn't want to drill anything. I put this little wire through here. I just bought this motor, so I don't want to do anything to it until past 30 days or so, that if I had to return it for whatever reason, I don't want to be drilling into it. So I just did this DIY carabiner setup right here with this wire. I got this Yak Attack accessory. I forgot the name right now, don't kill me, but it's basically to put a can strap or to put like ropes through it, things like that. What this does is when you pull the line from the seat, it opens that lock right there. This would allow me to deploy it and release this motor from my sitting position. I also added this cable right here, and I put a little bit of tape right there to kind of protect the shaft. From my previous testing, I noticed over here, around here, that should be enough clearance. Maybe not the ultimate position, but okay, pull it Let's go ahead and stow it away for now so we could launch and see how it does. Nice. That was nice. Let's go ahead and get out of this area here. And I guess the first test, and I'm gonna remove this rod holders, Yakatag amazing rod holders out of here because I don't need it right now. Just put it right here on the back. But for the first test, why not try my little deployment setup? Make sure the cable is clear. And I would recommend you do a more neat setup than me over there. But okay, so we got this. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it down. I'm gonna hold this right here. Let me fix this camera. I'm gonna go ahead and put this down. Hold this cable here because I don't want the motor to go all the way down. Oh yeah, that was too fast, but it worked. It is deployed. Now let's say I wanna undeploy it. Let me move this camera over there so it could look at the motor. So let's try this. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this, bring the motor. Now you see how I like to turn the head to turn. I just use the same line and sort of like boom, fish the motor into the base. Let's go ahead and do this again because I'm super happy that it worked. All right, I'm gonna grab a little bit of line so the motor doesn't go all the way down. Gonna pull here. That will open that bracket, just touch the motor, and then you could like just slowly let it go. It works. You just take your time with it. It just worked. Okay, let's bring it back now. Motor is down. Pull this up, bring this motor. So you see how it likes to turn. If you just pull it like this, it's not gonna lock in. You see that? It's not gonna lock in. So what you do is simple. Look at this. You just pull it up slowly and you turn it. See what I'm doing here? You turn it and boom, it's there. Now, if you need to get out of somewhere, right? Well, you can simply do this, okay? You need to like hurry up. Just go like this, pull it. Doesn't matter how you bring it up. Have it there, like so, with your jack attack click, and at least it's out of the way. You could get the paddle and go. Now, if you're gonna go on a long trek and you're gonna prepare to go on, you know, like a long trip, and you have a fancy outboard in the back, well, take your time to make sure this motor easily engage there. And I'm gonna do this one more time because I need you guys to see it again. Okay, so look at the head like that. If you just pull it up like this, it's not gonna engage. So what you do is you bring it up and look at my hands. You see how I'm turning the head with the rope itself, and boom, it's there. I hope you like this little how to deploy and undeploy the motor. Let's go ahead and bring it down again. So remember, just push a little and there, you're done. Boom, boom. Let's go ahead and release the rotor and let's see if we have power. Okay, so look at this. We got 360 control. That's super awesome. Let's just get out of here first. Kind of like just have the motor in straight position, and let's go ahead and do a simple turn with the rotor system. Let's see what we get. Okay, we're turning nicely here. Boom, 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 boom. And like if for some reason you're not able to turn quickly enough, you could just use the arrows and get out of the way. Let me just go over there, maximum speed. I want to see how that mount does going at maximum speed over there, and come back here and do our little speed test and stuff like that. This thing goes 8 speeds, but it does it in half increments. So I'm gonna start with just speed 1, 2. Okay, let's see what we get. So right now it's barely moving, 0.6 miles an hour. All right, let's go ahead and go for 8, half the speed of this craft. So we're going at 1.7 miles an hour. Sun is coming down. I think it's gonna be dark 6:05, so we got like probably like 25 minutes to do this. 2 miles an hour, 2.4 miles an hour. It's not gonna go to like the maximum they will go to right away. It takes time for that to gain speed. So 2.5 miles an hour and half the speed. Let's go ahead and just do full. Okay, let's go full. Okay, it's telling you it's full. 4.5, 5.3. I think that's a fluke. 4.5 miles an hour. I want to see what happens if I turn 4.5 miles an hour. Okay, doing a little turn here, giving it a little more taps. It's tiny taps. It turned really well. It always turns well to my left, to the right. The problem is with the left. So I'm gonna do another run here, see the speed, and then turn on the left. We are using just the rudder that comes with the boat. That rudder was not designed to do what I'm doing, to steer this boat with that motor. We're working, a bunch of people are working on a better rudder to be able to turn better, with this boat, because it may turn really well here in this area. The water is calm, there is no wave, nothing, but when you're there on the open ocean, you may have issues. So 4.5 miles an hour. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and turn again. 4.C I saw briefly. One thing that I noticed so far, I'm feeling a lot less vibration with this mount than I did with the previous mount. Not sure if it's because we're here, but it does feel better with this mount. I know that KETCH was working hard on finding the right setup for this, the right pitch. That's why they call it performance mount. And I could see that we're getting a little better performance out of this. I keep having issue with that word performance. All right, so 4.5, it's being 4.5. I saw 4.6, I saw 5 miles an hour, which I don't believe 5. So here I'm turning again to my left. It did really well. So let's go ahead and turn to my right here. Okay, it took a minute to turn, but we're turning well again. Okay, so it's turning very well. Now let's put the speed away and let's talk about some of the things that I learned specific for this craft. I noticed that if you want to turn, let's say you do a sharp turn right, boom, 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 and you keep turning and keep turning, and you want to now turn left, just don't pull all the way left. Put it parallel and then slowly turn left. See, it takes a little bit of time, because the problem is if you do that quick, like turn right and left, you may get the lines on the back of the rudder disconnected, and then it doesn't turn left. You gotta like do it again. So you don't want to be doing that when you really need to get out of a way. So it's not 100% responsive, quick response. It does turn, but just so you know, you need to take your time with it. Worst case scenario, if you're in an area where you need to turn quick, dude, just do that. Right? Just turn quick. Use the arrows. All right. So now let's do something quick here. Again, it's not the perfect place to do this, but I want to do it. Just gonna put the North key. I'm gonna let the boat drive itself pretty much. Okay, why is it doing that? I don't know. I see a lot of movement. I hear a lot of complaints about the auto navigation of the Xi3 that is not as good as the Minn Kota. Calm water here, and you see that it's correcting a lot. Can you just imagine if we were in an area where there was a lot of waves and stuff? Like, it would be like probably doing this. Let me remove it. Actually, let me do the same going that way. Let me stop it. Put the boat pointing. Come on, dude, come on. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now I press the north key. Let's see what it does. It's correcting a little bit. It's not crazy like that, but it's still doing corrections. If we had a bigger rotor on the back, like a bigger blade, like wider, it would do that. It will do less correction. For example, if you look at the Old Town Autopilot, it has a giant rotor for a reason. It helps it track better with autopilot, and that's one of the things that you get out of the box with the Old Town kayak that you don't get with this kayak, because this is pretty much you gotta go do it yourself. Another thing I want to test with this video is what happens if I press a spot lock and I'm going super fast. I did do a more in-depth water demo of this setup, not exactly that amount, but kind of like the same thing on the ocean, and I highly recommend you watch that as well so you could compare between the two. See, I'm having issues turning here. Don't know why. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes the cable on the back gets loose, but I fixed it. I just turned it again and it got, you know, where it needs to go. So we're maximum speed. Okay, you hear the beep, maximum speed. Let's just press spot lock. You see that? You see what it did there? That's crazy that this motor does that. When you press a spot lock or whatever they call it, this motor tends to just go super aggressive. And the other day I saw somebody on YouTube, a video that was presented to me. I did not watch it, but I saw the thumbnail. They put one of these unit on a big water 132, and I'm like, I hope that person's a seasoned kayak, because if you're in that big water and you're sitting where I'm sitting and that motor does that, you're gonna be underwater. You're gonna be underwater because that kayak is not super stable from the high steering position at all. So just be mindful of your equipment, what it could do. I also seen other videos on YouTube about this unit having issues going crazy, but I think what happened there was that somehow they pressed a spot lock and the unit went crazy. I've been stationary, I pressed a spot lock, the unit didn't go crazy. So that's good news. See, that's why you need to come here, go in the water and test this thing. When the boat wasn't moving, I pressed spot lock and it didn't go crazy. But a lot of times I was on the water, I wasn't moving, I pressed spot lock and the motor went crazy. And I'm gonna be doing a full review of this motor because I don't think there's that many reviews out there on YouTube. There's so, and let me just give you another drawback right here. This remote control, not the best thing in the world. I hear a lot of complaints. A lot of people get a spare units that they take with them fishing just in case. The other problem with the remote, it doesn't have a screen, so you don't know what settings you're in. You kind of have to remember that, and if you set up a setting and you're being fishing, you probably won't remember that. It doesn't tell you the speeds like the Minn Kota units do. It doesn't have an app, so kind of like I have a backup. At least I didn't find one on the Android app store. Maybe there's one for Apple people, not sure, but it doesn't have one for Android that I could find. The major plus is that it's a short shaft, it's geared for kayakers, and it's fast. It is fast, 4.5 miles an hour. If you compare this to K unit, not the new one, the previous one, 54 pounds, dude, that one is like 3 miles an hour. This is a 4.5. That is incredible. With this motor at 4.5 miles an hour, you start questioning if you want a rear motor. And I'll give you just one reason why you should have a rear motor. Redundancy. Why not have the outboard and have the fishing trolling motor, right? If you could put a dual motor. What you can do is you could have a Bixpy on the back on the rudder, because it's weightless, and you could have this and now you have redundancy. Or you could have a Newport vessel NK300, but not such a heavy battery. If you get a 68-hour in there, it's gonna be too heavy, and having the two motors and the two batteries, I think it'll be too much for the kayak under rough conditions. Okay, If you are here in waters like this, yeah, it's not a big deal. But having a heavy motor in the front with a battery and then a heavy motor in the back with another heavy battery in rough conditions is not the best thing ever. So if you do fish a lot of rough waters and you want to have a little bit of power and you want to have not such a heavy setup, maybe do the NK180 or have the Bixpy. If you don't fish a lot of heavy stuff, I mean, why have the dual motor, right? I'm gonna be doing more tests with this boat and the kayaks and everything. Like, I really want to come here with the NK180 and run it and do that test. I also want to do a proper Bixpy video, which is gonna have some crazy stuff in there. So if you find this video, there's a lot more videos about this kayak and about that motor on this channel. So make sure you go and check it out and give it a like if you liked it. And please, if you found value, if I answered a question, even if you only watched for 2 minutes, but I did answer your question and helped you, and you're gonna buy one of the products that I use here, please use the affiliate links because it goes a long way and it helps me a lot. Appreciate you. See you in the next video. Boom.